Hello everybody. This is me, Gibbon, and in this video we're gonna talk about Paidalajin. This is an ancient self-healing technique brought to the modern world by Master Hong Chi Shao. It is actually made of two practices from traditional Chinese medicine called Paida and Wajin, and they both combined together in Paidalajin. So, in this video, I'm gonna talk about why I do not participate in Paidalajin workshops because usually that is how Paidalajin is promoted. Workshops are done like this. You go into a hotel or in a guest house big enough for your group of participants, and you have the host who usually is experienced Paidalajin practitioner. Hi Vitali, nice to see you. And this Paidalajin practitioner is guiding you in these 7 or 8 days, sometimes 3 days workshops, and you go through the Paida, all the areas. Sometimes you Lajin, you make only Paida. Sometimes you combine Paida with Wajin. Hello, Justin. Hello. So yeah, you get it right. So in this workshop, so you have someone to guide you, and you do the same as him. And workshops are, in my opinion, good thing, very good thing. But why I do not participate? This strategy and this logic applies good to my case. I agree that for some people, attending workshop is a very good idea. And let me tell you why I do not participate. So, in my opinion, the best thing is to practice every day for yourself. And when I started to make my research in Paidalajin, I've practiced in the same time. So I never did my research only by reading about something. So I was practicing on a daily basis and reading in paidalajin.com. This is the website with the most testimonials of Paidalajin. So many people, many testimonials shared that the only thing that they regret is that they do not practice after the workshop and they do not keep their results from Paidalajin. And I know that after so much Paida that people apply to themselves on the workshops, they got huge improvements of all sorts of health problems, also mental problems, and why not spiritual problems. But after this workshop, you cannot keep this effect like forever. And in my opinion, you keep this effect maybe a month because the Paida is too much. You are doing Paida to yourself and to others 10 hours a day, maybe 8 hours a day, I don't know. But something like this, around 10 hours. You just wake up and start Paida till the night and till the evening. And this gives a lot of benefits to the body. Actually, you have this period that you feel bad after this. I mean, something like a week, you don't feel any improvement. But after this first week, when all the toxins evacuate your body, exit your body, you feel this great like power in your body. You feel that your disease are gone. It's amazing feeling. I did a couple of times by the carpet bombing to myself. So it's amazing, but it's not something that lasts forever. And and many people attend like two or three workshops in 1 year, uh, which is bringing me to a couple of problems. So the first problem is it's expensive. I don't know if you ever saw the prices, but workshops are expensive thing. Uh, I talked with a guy from UK that was in for workshop here in Bulgaria, and I was thinking that because of the lifestyle level between the two countries, uh, I thought that in Bulgaria it's cheap for him, but he told me that it's kind of expensive for him. But anyways, he was very ambitious and attended two workshops in Bulgaria. Uh, uh, with my dear friend Kamen Filipov. He was on his workshops. And the second problem, besides the money, is the problem of 3 days. I mean, how many days you are completely free in a row? I mean, for a workshop, you must be a retired person. So if you want to rely on workshops for your health and take like 3 carpet bombings in a year in Paidalajin workshops, first of all, you need to have 21 days, free days in a year, and must be 3 times in a year in a row, like 7 days in a row, not just 7 days, 7 days in a row, and 21 days in total in this year. And I have these days only in the summer. Usually, I have only 1 free day in a week that I do not work and I do not have any work to do. Um, so this kind of hard to have so much time to spend so much time on it. Maybe three workshops in a year will keep the effect through almost the whole year, but it's still not that good, in my opinion, as practicing every single day. Um, and maybe this is what makes me kind of different than other Paidalajin teachers. Because I never attended workshop, I got my amazing results in my health, and I've never made a workshop, and always said that the most important thing is for you to practice like every day on a daily basis to make Paidalajin your lifestyle. Because in workshops you rely on someone else. Um, Master Hong Shishao, who is kind of the creator of all these movement, talked about the same thing. People in workshops rely on the hosts, and once they got home, they stop practicing and they lose their benefits. And you must learn to rely on someone else, to rely on yourself. Sorry, to rely on yourself. There is this case in South Africa. Uh, there was a young lady who worked in old house, old people's house, and she gave Paida to all the people who lived in this old people's house. And once they did the workshop in South Africa, she was there, and when she Paida on herself, she had a heart attack as a healing crisis. Of course, she recovered after this. Now she's okay, but you can see that uh, sometimes it's just the best thing is to practice every day. Sometimes the man who is teaching you and talking you about Paidalajin is not that good. So this is another way. Actually, this was kind of different case than I used to talk. But anyways, I'm trying to say that it's always better to practice by yourself. Let's see what Vitaly has to say about his practice. Did this week hips, armpits, elbows, black marks every spot, uh, pain in the arm almost gone. Great. pain in the arm almost gone. It's amazing. So you see, Vitali is probably practicing by himself and has his reduction of the pain in the arm. I got mine too. So it's it's always better to rely on yourself, and it's the true goal of Paidalajin is to make it your lifestyle. If you just read about Paidalajin and attend workshop, by reading you will achieve nothing. By attending workshop you achieve a lot. But if you still rely on someone, you are not a practitioner, and you are not doing the best for yourself. And actually this is another way to make your healing free. I mean, I talk about money. So if you learn to rely on yourself, um, it will be really free. And on top of that, when you have an emergency, you already have this self-discipline to go somewhere, isolate from outer world, and start slapping on yourself. I've been to such periods like this, because I've gained my self-discipline in daily practice uh, in the very beginning of my Paidalajin journey. I've been through some ups and downs in my practice, and sometimes I reduce my practice, thus reduce my benefits, and have some problems in the same time in my in work, let's say, some issues in life. And I realized that actually this is a problem inside me, and I'm starting to block myself again. And I need really to take my time. And in cases like this, I go somewhere, isolate from the outer world, and sleep for 4 hours or 3 hours, 5 hours, or I just make a like like 2 days in a row for 3 hours of Paida or 4 hours of Paida, something like this. Vitali said that his neighbor under his flat is mad when he's lapping. I can understand him, but I can understand you too. So I've always wondered what my neighbors think about my slapping here. But I realized that probably my flat has some kind of good acoustics, because my dog once had this kennel cough, this disease that dogs is coughing like 24 hours, 24/7, like like an old man. It is coughing very loudly, and I was talking to my neighbors, going um, uh, to talk with them to excuse me, like, because the dog is sick, and this is why is this noise, this coughing. But they said I don't hear anything, so probably if they didn't hear that cough, they don't hear me slapping. So maybe I'm a lucky guy. But I work on something. I just bought a small land here in a village near Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, and I dream of making myself and my wife, my fiance, a small house, and have a little small house next to the house, which will be my Paida garage, where I can wake up, go in there, and start slapping myself very hard for an hour or two. This is one of my dreams, to have a small place for myself, to be able to slap without feeling guilt of making too much noise to neighbors or something. So I dream of a place where I can go and slap myself and do not make any noise to my love, to my wife, to my neighbors. And yeah, slap shack. What is shack? Let me translate it. Slap shack. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. In Bulgaria we call it baraka. Yeah, slap shack. This okay. I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna say it like this. I wanna have my slap shack so much, and put a bench inside it too, Lajin bench. So yeah, this is one of my dreams to be able to have my slap shack, and every morning when I wake up to have 2 hours to slap myself for 1 hour and stretch my body for 1 hour, and do not disturb anyone, anybody or anyone. I don't know when to say anybody and when to say anyone. So another reason about why I do not take workshops, actually, these are all the reasons. Workshops are good. I mean, for people who do not have this self-discipline. I gained my self-discipline not by practicing Paidalajin, but by practicing yoga. So when I started my Paidalajin journey, I already had this discipline of practicing something for myself for more than 1 hour a day. It was hard to gain this though. I started with 2 practices a week, then started to add my 15 minutes practice yoga every day. Then this became 30 minutes, then this 30 minutes became 45 minutes. And then after maybe 2 years and a half, I started to practice hour and a half every day. I mean, yoga. Sometimes split into 2 practices, sometimes at one practice. And then I started with Paidalajin, and I already had this self-discipline. It's hard to gain though, but it's worth it. So let me tell some things why workshops are good. So workshops are good because this is your way to your opportunity to really get into it. If you start by yourself, of course, my videos on YouTube will help you, but to really get it, to really get how much people slap actually on themselves, workshops really matters. Like they're a really good idea to go somewhere and really spend a lot of time. And even when you feel like you want to stop slapping to yourself, other people will continue slapping on themselves and you'll be ashamed. And just because of this shame, you keep slapping. So you will finish your your slaps. And also you will make the difference between when you apply Python on yourself and when someone applies to you is very different actually. In the effect, no, but in the way you feel, in the way it feels, is very different when someone applies Python. Sometimes you want to hit him hard in the face, um, but it's for good. So but you really will understand in a 7 days exactly how to practice, and you have a very big experience with it. Also, you will learn a lot about the channels because probably uh, every day on these workshops you will learn about the position of the meridians, and you will have your orientation. Sometimes if you have an emergency case, what to do. There is no way of misunderstanding the places of the pathways of the meridians during the workshops, because you uh, heard this many times every day. Let me say, if I was a Paidalajin host and when we slap somewhere here, I would say every single time that these are the place that goes heart meridian, lungs meridian, and pericardium meridians. And imagine me repeating this thing here, and we will spend like 3 hours of slapping only here, and then 3 hours the other side. I'll tell it again when we slap the armpits. So we have a lot of repetition of what we talk. Also, at the evenings at workshops, there is a Q&A, and you'll be able to see to ask questions, to receive answers and to see other people's questions. So you can look at Paidalajin from many different angles. Uh, and of course, another thing is that you will um, learn to resist the healing crisis, because you have them in workshops, and you probably will need to continue slapping on yourself, um, even though you have some form of healing crisis. Let's say on them in day one you won't have any, but in day two you have some, but you need to continue your practice. Something else is that you will see in real time about the sha and about the blockages. You will learn it very, very clearly, because you will see that some people slap here, some people have dark, very, very dark spots, dark sha. Some people have nothing here. And then same two people switch the area, like 2 days after this, they slap somewhere on the legs. And the person who had amazing sha here, like super big blockage, has no blockage on somewhere on the legs. But the other person who is clear here is very dirty in this area on the legs. So you will see that different people have different blockages in real time, um, and this will encourage you also. Another thing that will encourage you is, like, if you see someone with great shot and he continues slapping and he has no fear about it, um, this will give you a lot of uh, have a lot of courage, and will make you more brave in your practice. So this is like the pros and cons of having these workshops. Vitali, in Europe is almost no workshop. It's good to start more people. More people need Paida. Uh, can you remind me which country are you from, Vitali? Because in Bulgaria we have very regular workshops. Of course, we are happy to have Kamen Filipov, which is one of the best Paidalajin promoters in the world right now. Actually, one of the reasons that I will go to workshop is if the workshop is made by Master Shao. This will be totally different thing. I really want to meet this guy. I want him to get out of prison, and we'll gladly meet him in workshop. I have so much to say to him. Like, I want to hug this guy, and I want to tell him so much. I want to thank him about so many things. Lithuania. Um, yeah, Bulgaria is it's not very near to you, but in UK as well. But in UK, I met this guy who really wants to make workshops. He attended a few workshops by himself. Himself. Workshops originally done by Kamen Filipov. So he likes Paidalajin a lot, and I've talked with him in person. We met here in Bulgaria. A very nice guy, and seemed to understand Paidalajin very good. So I will talk with him. His name is James. Actually, James, if you are watching this video, you can leave a comment below. So this is James from UK, and I'll talk with him. And if he wants to make some workshop, I'll announce it here in a form of post in the community section of this channel, and in a video as well. So yeah, one of my dreams actually is, when this channel gets big, if it gets big, someone to invite me somewhere and to make a workshop for, let's say, 2 days, 3 days. It will be very, very cool. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for your watching. Oh, one more thing. Like, I imagine that in these workshops, if they're like 2 days workshop and I'm the host, probably most of the people will be men who have this problem, like male sexual problem. Mm, this is most likely to happen because this is how I promote Paidalajin, and this is how I feel it, like because of my case. And it can be focused more on this, something like that. But the time will say if it is, if it will happen sometimes. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your activity in the chat. Thank you so much for your watching. And you can decide for yourself is if going to a workshop is worth it or not. But believe me, if you go to workshop and then stop practicing and only rely on your workshop, you will lose your benefits. But if you learn to practice every day, you keep the benefits even without uh, never attending a workshop. Okay, thank you so much for your watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.